You could lie in a bath with your mouth open and you still wouldn't sing. But it's true.
Stop it.
You couldn't win this competition if you were the only person in it in a million years.
Simon Cowell is entertainment's sharpest critic and one of the most private figures in Hollywood. But now, his children Eric and Adam have broken their silence, sharing revelations no one saw coming. What hidden truths about Simon's life have been exposed? And how do they change everything we thought we knew about him? The legendary man, Simon Cowell. The name alone makes you think of biting critiques, rolled eyes, and that famous smile. He's the man who turned phrases like "that was dreadful" into viral moments. From American Idol to The X Factor and Britain's Got Talent, Simon has built a legacy as the sharp-tongued TV judge everyone loves, or loves to hate. His blunt comments and instinct to find raw talent made him famous. But let's pause for a second. Things weren't as glamorous behind that polished personality as they seemed. Simon was not always the doting family man you might imagine today. Back in his bachelor days, he was the king of nightlife, jet-setting across the globe with no plans to settle down. In fact, Simon openly admitted he didn't think fatherhood was for him. "I'm not the dad type," he once said in interviews, yet life has a way of surprising us, doesn't it? The man who vowed to live by his own rules was about to get hit by a curveball named love and a baby. Here comes Lauren Silverman. Their story didn't begin with roses and candlelight. It started with scandal and headlines. Lauren, a glamorous New Yorker, was married to Simon's close friend Andrew Silverman when sparks began flying between her and Simon. Talk about awkwardness. By 2013, their relationship became public knowledge after Lauren's pregnancy was revealed, and let's just say the tabloids had a field day. For a man who succeeded in controlling his image, this was chaos. People wondered if Simon Cowell had finally met his match. Despite the controversy, Simon didn't shy away. In fact, he stepped up, showing a side of himself no one had seen before. It wasn't just about falling for Lauren, but the idea of becoming a father. On February 14, 2014, their son Eric was born. Yes, Valentine's Day. The irony was not lost on fans who had watched Simon ruthlessly dismantle contestants for years. This was the same guy who was now swaddling diapers and singing lullabies. But don't let the rom-com moment fool you. Simon's shift into fatherhood came with its hurdles. The man known for his designer suits and biting humor suddenly had spit up on his shoulder. Yet something clicked. He named his son Eric after his late father, a touching tribute showing how deeply family could move him. Behind the cameras and cutting remarks, Simon's heart was bigger than anyone expected. Still, this transformation raised eyebrows. Simon had gone from a carefree bachelor to a doting dad, a shift that many attributed to Lauren's influence. Others believed it was little Eric who awakened something in him he hadn't realized was there. The world was now seeing a softer, more vulnerable side of Simon Cowell. But just when you think you've got him figured out, there's another layer to peel back. Our next revelations discuss the moment Simon's life changed forever. When Eric came into the world and turned everything upside down. The birth of a new beginning. February 14, 2014 marked a turning point for Simon Cowell. On Valentine's Day, his son Eric Cowell entered the world bringing emotions and changes that Simon never saw coming. For a man who once believed fatherhood wasn't his path, this moment redefined his life in ways no one expected. Eric's name carried deep meaning. Simon chose to honor his late father, Eric Philip Cowell, who had been his rock through life. Losing him in 1999 was devastating, but naming his firstborn after his dad helped Simon feel closer to him again. Just think of the emotion of holding your newborn and feeling that same bond you once shared with a parent. It's no wonder Simon later described the experience as one of the most touching moments he had ever known. The day of Eric's birth had its own drama. When he got the call, Simon was thousands of miles away in London, judging Britain's Got Talent auditions. Lauren Silverman, his partner, had gone into labor in New York. In classic Simon fashion, he didn't hesitate. He boarded a private jet and raced across the Atlantic, barely making it in time to witness Eric's first cry. That last-minute dash became the kind of story you'd expect from a Hollywood script. Before Eric, Simon's priorities revolved around work, fast cars, and a never-ending stream of projects. He wasn't exactly the poster child for parental instincts. In interviews, he had openly said, "Kids aren't for me," but life has a way of rewriting the rules. The moment Eric arrived, everything shifted. Late-night business calls were replaced with late-night feedings, and instead of scouting talent, Simon found himself learning the art of bedtime routines. Their bond was instant. Eric quickly became Simon's little shadow, and the usually stoic TV mogul found himself melting in ways fans had never seen. Friends joke that the only person who could tell Simon what to do was now barely 3 feet tall. Suddenly, it wasn't all about suits and schedules. It was about Lego towers, bedtime stories, and making space for Eric's world in his own. Eric's arrival also peeled back a layer of Simon's personality that many didn't expect. Known for fiercely guarding his private life, Simon started sharing glimpses of his time as a father. Paparazzi snapped him pushing swings at the park, building sandcastles, or simply enjoying a quiet day with his son. Each picture painted a man who seemed genuinely transformed. Only some people bought into this new side of Simon, though. Some whispered that this softer persona was just a phase, but Simon's actions told a different story. He made real changes, starting with his health. For years, smoking had been his constant companion, but he kicked the habit for Eric's sake. Knowing he wanted to be there for his son long-term, Simon didn't think twice about giving it up. And then there was the facelift of another kind. After years of Botox and fillers, Simon embraced a more natural look. What triggered the change? Eric's simple but brutally honest comment, "Dad, why does your face look so weird?" That playful comment from his son hit home, and Simon decided to quit the treatments. The changes didn't stop there. Simon, who once lived in London's bustling city life, moved to the countryside for a quieter, more family-friendly environment. The decision came after a 2015 burglary at his London home, which left him shaken and deeply concerned for Eric's safety. For a man who had spent decades living life in the fast lane, slowing down for his son felt like a no-brainer. But the story of Simon's family isn't just about him and Eric. There's another important piece to this puzzle. Andrew Silverman, Lauren's son from her previous marriage. While Simon's bond with Eric is undeniable, his relationship with Adam adds a layer of complexity to this family dynamic. How does a man who once claimed he wasn't cut out for fatherhood navigate life as both a dad and a stepdad? Now let's have a look at how Simon's unexpected role as a father figure to Adam created a blended family story that's both heartwarming and complicated. But Eric's bond with Simon isn't the only surprise. There's more to this family dynamic that's been kept under wraps. Until now. The stepchild in the shadows. While Simon Cowell is known for doting on his biological son Eric, there's another key figure in his family dynamic who rarely gets attention. Adam's role in this blended family has always been a bit of a mystery, and recent revelations have left fans questioning everything. Does Simon love Adam the same way he does Eric? Or has this stepfather-stepchild relationship been more complicated than we imagined? Let's take a step back. In 2013, when Simon and Lauren's relationship became public, it was anything but smooth. Lauren was still married to Andrew Silverman, Adam's father, and their divorce was far from quiet. Adam, just a young boy then, was caught in the media frenzy. It's hard enough for a kid to deal with a family split, but imagine having every detail of your parents' breakup splashed across headlines. For Adam, the arrival of Simon Cowell into his mother's life must have felt like a shock. And here's where it gets interesting. While Eric immediately became the center of Simon's world, Adam's place in the family was unclear. Adam primarily lived with his father in New York under custody, which naturally limited his time with Simon. Some have speculated that this distance may have kept their relationship from developing as strongly as Simon's bond with Eric. It was unclear whether Simon truly embraced Adam as a son or if their connection remained more formal than familial. To Simon's credit, he reportedly made efforts to bond with Adam. According to those close to the family, Simon was careful not to overstep his boundaries, as Adam already had a father who played an active role in his life. Instead of trying to take Andrew Silverman's place, Simon focused on being a supportive figure when Adam visited. But let's be honest, balancing a blended family is no small task, especially when the world is watching. Then there's the relationship between Adam and Eric. The two half-brothers couldn't be more different, Adam older and more reserved, versus Eric, who was under the spotlight just like his father. Despite their contrasting personalities, the brothers managed to forge a bond. Insiders have described Adam as a protective figure for Eric, often stepping into the role of mentor or guide. Some have speculated whether Adam feels overshadowed by Eric, who has clearly become the apple of Simon's eye. The questions don't stop there. Recently, whispers have emerged that Adam may have opened up about his relationship with Simon. Allegedly, Adam has shared insights into how he feels being part of this high-profile family and how Simon's parenting style has shaped their dynamic. While we don't know all the details, the idea that Adam may have felt like the forgotten son has left fans buzzing. It remains uncertain whether Simon has given Adam the same love and attention he showers on Eric, or if there has always been a quiet divide between them. Of course, Simon himself has stayed silent on these rumors. The famously private star rarely discusses his blended family, leaving room for speculation to grow. Yet, recent sightings of Simon, Lauren, and both boys together suggest a family that's working hard to find balance. Whether at public events or on vacations, Simon has tried to include Adam in family life. But is that enough? The suspense lies in what Adam may have revealed, and why he's chosen to speak up now. Is this a story of reconciliation and hidden bonds, or is there more tension beneath the surface? Could it be that Simon, who's so often celebrated for his parenting transformation with Eric, still has room to grow in his relationship with Adam? Simon's shocking transformations. Simon Cowell's journey into fatherhood is anything but ordinary. From his tight bond with Eric to the complex relationship with Adam, Simon's life has taken turns no one could have predicted. But it's not just the relationships that have changed. Simon himself, the man once known for his sharp tongue and hard edges, is almost unrecognizable today. His kids didn't just alter his priorities, they completely reshaped how he lives. Let's start with one of Simon's most publicized changes: quitting smoking. This wasn't some casual decision for him. If you know Simon's past, you know cigarettes were practically glued to his hand. Yet when Eric was born, something shifted. Simon realized he wanted to be around for his son's milestones, from soccer games to graduations. The thought of leaving Eric too soon motivated him to do what seemed impossible. And then there's the facelift, literally. For years, Simon relied on Botox and fillers to maintain his signature look. But leave it to Eric, with his childlike honesty, to bring Simon back down to earth. He ditched the cosmetic treatments and joined a more natural appearance. It wasn't just about vanity, it was about setting an example for his son. And then comes the burglary incident. He made a major move after a scary burglary at his London home in 2015. Concerned for his family's safety, Simon packed up his city life and relocated to a quieter countryside estate. Imagine trading bustling city streets for rolling green hills and chirping birds. It was a drastic shift for a man who couldn't imagine living the fast-paced lifestyle of London. But for Simon, Eric's well-being made the decision easy. Of course, none of these changes compares to Simon's resilience after his 2020 back injury. Testing out an electric bike turned into a nightmare when Simon fell and fractured his spine. Recovery was very tough. You see how hard it is to recover from a back injury. Months of rehabilitation pushed him to his limits. But through it all, Eric was by his side. Seeing his son's support gave Simon the strength to keep going. In interviews, Simon often credits Eric for helping him stay focused during those dark days. It's almost poetic how fatherhood has softened Simon. The man who once reveled in harsh critiques now finds joy in bedtime stories and family dinners. Friends have said Simon has a new perspective on life that's less about chasing success and more about cherishing the moments that matter. Even Adam, his stepson, has played a part in this transformation, though their relationship still leaves questions. But here's the twist. Eric and Adam believe Simon's changes go even deeper than what we see. Rumors suggest that Simon's kids have hinted at secrets about their dad's emotional journey. Details that might explain why he's become so different. What could these revelations be? Could they shed light on a side of Simon we've never known? The hidden secrets. For years, Simon Cowell has been a master at keeping his private life under wraps. But now, his children Eric and Adam have broken their silence, sharing stories that portray a different picture of the man behind the sharp critiques. What they've revealed has left fans stunned and wondering, how well do we really know Simon Cowell? Let's start with Eric, Simon's biological son. The bond between them is undeniable. Eric has often been described as the light of Simon's life, but according to some sources, Eric has commented that his dad is not always the confident, tough personality we see on TV. Behind closed doors, Simon is said to be deeply emotional and, at times, insecure about whether he's doing enough as a father. Eric allegedly shared that Simon's love is overwhelming but can come with much pressure. He wants everything to be perfect, one insider claimed Eric said. It makes you wonder, does Simon's perfectionism ever strain their bond? Then there's Adam, Lauren's son from her previous marriage. For years, Adam's role in the family has been a quieter one, but recently whispers have emerged that Adam may not feel entirely equal in this blended dynamic. Rumors suggest he's hinted at moments where he's felt overshadowed by Eric. Some even claim that Adam has questioned whether Simon views him with the same level of affection as his biological son. While these are unconfirmed reports, they add a layer of mystery to Simon's family life. Could this tension explain why Adam has remained out of the public eye? Despite these alleged struggles, Adam and Simon have found ways to connect. Insiders say their relationship has evolved over time, with Simon reportedly going out of his way to include Adam in family moments. The two have bonded over shared interests, particularly when it comes to storytelling. In fact, this connection led to an unexpected project, the Wish Fits children's book series. The idea for Wish Fits came from Simon and Eric brainstorming creative stories together. But Adam also played a role behind the scenes, sharing input that helped shape the project. The book series is more than just a fun activity. It's an insight into the private side of Simon's life. It shows how much he values time spent with his kids, using storytelling as a way to bring them closer. Yet fans can't help but wonder, was Wish Fits also an attempt to repair the alleged gaps in these relationships? As touching as these moments are, Simon's children have also revealed something that has truly shocked everyone. Simon Cowell, one of the wealthiest men in the entertainment industry, reportedly doesn't plan to leave his fortune to either of his sons. That's right, Simon allegedly believes in teaching Eric and Adam the value of hard work. Instead of passing down his millions, Simon plans to donate most of his wealth to charity. The decision has sparked heated debates. While some see it as a noble move, others question how it might affect Simon's kids. Eric has supposedly taken the news in stride, even joking that he'll have to start saving his allowance. But Adam's perspective remains unclear. Could this choice deepen any feelings of being left out that Adam may already have? Or will it ultimately bring the family closer by teaching them to rely on each other instead of material wealth? Simon's children's revelations have left fans with more questions than answers. Is Simon the perfect father we've come to admire, or are there cracks in this family's foundation? Why have Eric and Adam chosen to speak out now? Are they finding the way to a deeper understanding of Simon, or is there more to this story that's yet to be uncovered? Simon Cowell's journey from a sharp-tongued TV icon to a family man has been eye-opening. But his children's revelations? Those took things to a whole new level. What do you think? Did these confessions change how you see him? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.